Hey everybody, it's me. It's Michael B. And tonight we are going to be taking a look at the upcoming games coming out for all the different home arcade companies, all the multicades. So what's coming out from Arcade 1UP, what's coming out from iiRcade, and what's coming out from AtGames, and myself and my very good friend and special co-host tonight, we're going to say what ones we're going to pick up, what ones we're interested in, and what we are going to get. How are we going to make room in our already overcrowded arcades? Hope you guys enjoy the show tonight. This is Michael B. the Game Genie, and you're watching Chill and Chat with Michael B. It's him. It's PW.
Hey, Mike, how are you, man? Thanks for letting me come on the show tonight, dude. Appreciate the invite.
You're welcome. Now dominate me.
Oh, no. I'm actually excited that you're hosting tonight's broadcast. We were actually thinking about doing a split broadcast, like do the first part of the show on my show, then the second part on your part. And then that just would involve work. And I was like, you know what, Mike, you just host the stream and I'll ride shotgun. I'm Chewbacca, you're Han Solo tonight. You are in charge of the Millennium Falcon. You're gonna get us. You're gonna get us to a galaxy far, far away, a galaxy full of multicades, which gets me really, really excited.
What's that song? I can't remember now. I think it's like the Beastie Boys, something with the line in it, Wookie, or maybe that's never mind. I'm just gonna. Anyways, good night.
Well, guys, I got to tell you something. What I'm super excited about when Michael B pitched this idea to me, here's what he said. He goes, PDubs, man, look at our videos lately. We've had so many videos and podcasts where all we're doing is pointing out the things we don't want to buy, the things that we have no interest in, the stuff that these companies are doing wrong, and the stuff that we're not hyped for. Wouldn't it be great if we did a show where we just say, hey, these are the products we're definitely going to buy, and also find out from our viewers, are they going to buy these same products, or are there different products that they're interested in? Because every man has his own opinion and nobody's wrong. So I thought that this was a great idea, Mike. We are going to have a very positive show tonight talking about the things that we're actually going to spend money on versus the stuff we're going to complain about on the internet.
No, you read the description wrong. It's the opposite. We're just talking about the stuff we don't want and then being very coarse and angry about it. Yeah, we are talking about what we want. I love this idea. I described it to you before we get started anyways, because me and you have very similar arcade builds, mainly because I'm copying you. But you have the Loft right now that is predominantly Arcade 1UP cabinets. I have my arcade down in the basement. It's predominantly 100% all Arcade 1UP cabinets. And then we both have like working offices that have become multicade offices. So it's such an interesting time to talk about the new cabinets coming out from all the companies. We're both packed to the gills with arcades. We don't really have any room, and how we're going to make room for these new cabinets if we are getting something.
Yeah, there's going to be some interesting my house now, it's like playing chess or checkers, or it's like a board game in here when it comes to flip-flopping, moving stuff around, and trying to find room, and also making the tough choice to let some of these things go to make room for the new blood, right? The new arcades. So, yeah, man, it's going to be fun. I'm ready whenever you are.
Before we get started, I got to ask you a question. Like, are there cabs that you regret selling? You look back on it and you're like, I wish I didn't let that one go.
We did a show about that. We did a whole podcast. Really? Yeah, you and I, we did a podcast about what are the products that we regret getting rid of. You and I did that episode.
Geez, glad I didn't make that video, because then I get another harassing call. What are you copying again?
But if you need a memory, I totally regret getting rid of Final Fight. I missed the arcade one-up Final Fight cabinet. That was such a good cabinet.
You know what's wild? Even after I got my Capcom Legacy cabinet, it still wasn't the same. I still miss the Final Fight cabinet.
Yep. I still miss the Final Fight cabinet. Guys, if you have a Final Fight cabinet, don't let it go.
Hang on to that thing like grim death.
And what's funny too, Mike, is the 4 games on that cabinet, we can play 1,000 ways on other devices. But the fact is, I loved playing those 4 games on that cabinet. And I don't have that cabinet anymore. And guys, I think if you get rid of your Final Fight cabinet, you might regret it down the road if you're a big fan of that Arcade 1UP cabinet. So,
Yeah, and I don't think they'll ever make one again. Like the closest we're ever going to get is some kind of Capcom Legacy cabinet. I don't think you'll get a dedicated Final Fight.
Yeah.
What about very on the nose comment? It's happening a lot here in Canada. What about Golden Tee? Do you regret letting your original Golden Tee go now that you've got the new Golden Tee?
That is, man, that is $1 million question. I think that if I had kept the original Golden Tee and not upgraded, I think I would have been happy.
Yeah.
I think like a lot of people, I walked into the new Golden Tee expecting it to be this massive improvement. And they did do a lot of massive improvements on that cabinet when it comes to the size of the screen, the size of the control panel, the beautiful marquee, the lit marquee and all that. The molded coin door. The artwork on the cabinet is gorgeous. I love that wood finish on the bottom of the cabinet. The fact that the monitor has washout issues kind of kills it for you, right? You know what I mean? But then again, I only play that cabinet on the weekends, like on Saturday
Yeah.
or Sunday when I'm in my arcade and I turn on all the machines in my loft and I just jump from machine to machine. So because I only play it like once a week, you know what I mean? Like I don't like, kick myself in the butt over it as hard as I could have if I know there's some people out there that play these cabinets daily.
Yeah.
And to them, they're probably would be more passionate about it. But I think if I didn't upgrade, I think I would have been a happy man. I could have
Yeah.
just stayed with the original.
I talked about it in on Super Game Room Dudes this Friday. There's a Canadian guy, Mark LaRock, and he actually he got one of the very last Arcade One Up Golden Tee cabinets from the bricks like dwindling inventory on clearance, and
Yep.
let that one go to get the Golden Tee 3D, and he hates it. Like Brick actually took it back, and well, the big reason for him was like a lot of people. I know people like to play Golden Tee while sitting on a stool, and you can't play that Golden Tee 3D while sitting on a stool. Like the angle, like looking at it dead on, is just the term is washout. I was using ghosting on the video I made yesterday, but it's washout and discoloration is what I should have said.
Yeah, I mean, you kept talking about ghosting in your video. The only thing I could hear was the Righteous Brothers and Patrick Swayze and Demi Moore. Like I was ready to I wanted you to sit behind me and have us mold some clay together, make some pottery. Like it's like, why is
Oh
he keep talking about ghosts?
my darling, I want
I was like,
to
what is he
feel
talking about? I'm like,
your touch.
I'm like, what is ghosting? I'm like, Michael, it's washed
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, it's washout or discoloration is what I meant, and
Wait a minute.
I get on a run with that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, we're supposed to be talking about positive things though tonight, Mike.
Positive. So
let's talk positive.
we got a really cool comment here, super chat from Slowpoke. Thank you very much, Slowpoke. $5 super chat. Wish Arcade One Up made a heavy barrel and a Curry Warriors cab with the rotating joystick. That would be really cool.
Yeah, add a Guerrilla War on there too. I absolutely fell in love playing that original Guerrilla War cabinet at that convention recently.
Yeah, Guerrilla War is a great game. Did you ever play the NES game?
Yeah, I played the NES game, but you play with the NES controller, right?
Yeah,
and I mentioned it. I mentioned in my tour video where I was like, it was the first time I played that game on its original hardware. We've played Guerrilla War or ports of Guerrilla War via emulation all these years, via handheld controllers and stuff, or inaccurate controls on multicades. So playing it on its original stuff was pretty awesome. I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
The NES port of Guerrilla War and Akari Warriors 3 made it in my really, really easy NES game video because it's exactly like the arcade port.
I like the plug.
I know, but
you always plug in your content.
You can just continue just like you would quarter in the arcade at any time. There's no limitation on continues, lives. So, I mean, those games are pretty easy because they follow the arcade format. We got another $5 super chat here from Hobby Hands. I remember before I knew about One Up, I saw Final Fight for $175 at Walmart, and I thought that is way too expensive for my pocket. I was naive back then.
Naive. Yeah. You know what's funny is the guy I sold my Final Fight cabinet to, he had it for, well over a year and a half. He reached out to me, asked me if I wanted to buy it back, but I was out of room at the time. And I was like, if I buy it back, it's just going to sit in my garage. Right.
Yeah.
So I turned him down, but now part of me is like, I should have probably just bought it back from him since he didn't want it anymore.
But here's the crazy thing. Like, I'll say this, and again, Hami Hands, thank you very much for the super chat. So you have multiple multicades back there. One of which is the AtGames Legends Ultimate. In fact, you have 2 Legends Ultimates.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you want to play Final Fight, you can just play it on that. Why do you need your Final Fight cabinet back?
It just, I know
the answer.
What's the answer?
Because it feels more like playing the arcade game. You got the art, you got the exact controls of what the arcade looked like. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where, I mean, that's been the talk track for the last 4 years for Arcade 1-Up is they sell nostalgia, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, it just felt good playing those 4 games on that cabinet. You know what I mean? So,
well, that's the one thing that Arcade 1-Up and Super Game Room dudes have in common. They sell nostalgia. We sell nostalgia.
Yeah, we do. We whore him out like there's nobody's business.
Which I found out was his real job. So there we go. Anyways, moving on from that, let's talk about the cabinets coming out from Arcade 1-Up. And the way I want to do this, let's talk about what we do know about what's official. We'll go through those. Then we'll talk about what's unofficial. And then maybe even a little bit of room for speculation. Justin Console Kits was dropping some hints that there might be one unannounced cabinet coming out still yet. So maybe do a little back and forth. Unless you actually know what it is, then just tell me now and we won't do it.
We'll know when we get there. But keep in mind, guys, because a lot of people are joining late. They're just joining the stream now. Mike and I were talking that we have been complaining too much on the internet about all the crap we're not going to buy. Our goal tonight is to try and be positive. We're going to try and have a positive stream and only focus on the good and try and only focus on what are the cabinets we're actually going to buy this year. And we definitely want to know what cabinets you guys are going to buy, because despite the fact that you guys like us are hypercritical about what these companies do, I'm sure some of you are going to be buying some cabinets this year, and I want to know what those are. Make sure you keep those comments coming in the live chat, and definitely we'll share our honest opinions as well, because I'll be honest, although these companies do piss me off sometimes, there are a few products I'm excited for about picking up later this year. So Mike, whenever you're ready, I'm ready.
Yeah, but before we get started, there's a great comment here from Rich Wodello. I don't sell cabs when the love fades. I just mod them. A lot of people do that too. They mod the cabinets. I'm not a modding guy. I've got the skills. Obviously, I did come up and conceptualize and make the the dressercade. So obviously, I've got the skills. But
so if we make any complaints, the live chat needs to hold us accountable, Mike. So if we become too negative and start complaining about things, the live chat needs to smack us around and say, "Stay positive, bros."
Yeah.
So we're gonna. I have a feeling by the end of this show, a lot of people aren't going to believe this theory, but I think by the end of this broadcast, you are going to end up being way more negative than me.
You think so?
Yeah, because people would expect me to complain.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm the underdog here. Okay. I'm going to win.
Okay. Leo gets. Okay. Okay.
It's
so
your
anyways,
show.
Tyler here says, "What are you going to convince me to buy now?" Tyler wrote me earlier in my after I did my Golden Tee video. Is it really that bad? He said he's repurchased the Golden Tee 3D and he's bought an iiRcade Gold Edition. So Tyler, if you want to keep your wallet nice and full, don't watch the rest of this. Get out of here, brother. Thank you very much for the super chat. Oh my God, Andrew's Clay Creations and more. Just got my Sydney Hunter cab from iiRcade, putting it together while listening to the stream. Wow, what a well-built cab. Yeah, so thank you very much for the super chat, Andrew. Yeah. And my buddy Mike Dalton got a notification. His cab is in Ontario, so he should have it in the next couple of days. So I'm pretty excited about that. PDubs, you just freaked out. What happened?
Because BCB, no one can top the live chat. BCB has won the live chat tonight.
Okay.
Because I can totally read this in the Joe Pesci. Because you know what they do, Mike? You know what they do? They fuck you with the couch games. Okay?
We don't swear on my channel. This happened. He just swore twice. They F you. He said they F you.
Well, I'm sorry. There goes your monetization.
Okay. Let me tell you about Arcade 1-Up. Let me tell you about Arcade 1-Up. They F you on the XL cabinets, okay?
He wins. He wins the live chat tonight. No one can top that. I dare you guys to top that tonight in the live chat.
Jason, stick around because we're gonna have some conversations about Double Dragon from 1UP yet.
Now, do you want to start with the smaller companies because they have less products and work our way to Arcade 1UP because they have a lot more?
Sure, we could do that. Let's start. Let's
Unico.
start. I'm not buying anything from Unico. Let's move on.
We're not going to talk about that Visco countercade at all.
We can. I don't have any.
You want to make it real quick?
You go ahead. Are you interested in the Visco Mini?
If that Visco Mini tabletop, which I think I did a video on, you did a video on from Unico, if it comes in at like 150 or less, I know in my video I said 199, but after thinking about it, I think I'm now capped at 150. If that thing comes in at 150 or less, I might just pick it up.
Yeah.
If it just for the Sam hell of it, if it's going to be more than 150, I'm going to just avoid it. But that's my thoughts, right? So, there you go. So that one is not one I'm definitely buying. It's like, it depends on the price. I'm on the fence. It's all about the price for me on that one.
Your Average Gamer says, is anyone buying anything from Unico? Well, man, it depends if they can actually get anything out in stores. Like, I think the Visco one is a bit of a hard sale, and I don't know exactly what's happening there, but I kind of said, I wonder if they lost the Neo Geo license, and they're just trying to take the assets they currently have with another brand they can utilize that works on their hardware and make something else. And that's what the Visco Mini might be. Or maybe they're trying to take the licenses they do have, and instead of, putting all the milk with one, what is it? Why is anybody going to buy the cow if you give them the milk for free? Instead of doing a giant multicade, trying to do more of an arcade 1UP model where they break it down by publisher, like a legacy cab. Maybe the Visco is the legacy cab coming out of Neo Geo. I don't know.
Okay.
Dan Z.
See, we got through that one really quickly. Anyone in the live chat picking up that Visco countercade, let us know. Throw it in the live chat.
I will tell you, I was surprised at the comments in my video and on social media of the people saying, yeah, I'm really excited for this. And I was like, wow, I didn't think there would be a market for it, but apparently there was. Color me surprised.
Yeah. What's funny, too, is with the high-low hack, I already have all those games on the MVSX cabinet, plus through every other hack way I play games. What I would like about it is the size of it. You could actually have it on a countertop, and if you could do the high-low hack to that cabinet, that would be really sweet as well. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Like, I'm not excited about those 12 games, trust me. But I love the button layout. I love the button layout. So.
Yeah, well, it's the button layout everybody wanted for the MVSX. I think people were hoping for a re-released MVSX, maybe that was a little bit more arcade accurate at some point. So, all right. So Visco, there is nothing from Well Played that we know of other than that coffee table thing. We don't really need to talk about that. Neither of us are that super interested in that. Let's move on now to AtGames, which is a company that's been pretty quiet. And you might say, Mike, why in God's name are you talking about AtGames? And I know the background's really loud, PDubs. Don't go into me.
all that pink and that. It looks like a bubblegum wrapper.
Beautiful.
It looks like we're sitting on a bubblegum wrapper right now, Mike.
How do I get to the games, or am I at like their...
Here.
Oh, here we go.
No. Let's do share screen. Here, Mike, just go ahead and share this. So when it comes to AtGames, really the only product I'm super excited about getting is this one right here. Then I've made a reservation for it myself. Is for the bit LCD, because I would like to swap one of these LEDs for the LCD. So definitely excited about this and hoping that these marquees and things you can do with this are going to be really, really cool. But minus this, there's really nothing else from AtGames this year I'm excited about. Mike, are you getting the bit LCD? Did you make a reservation, or did anyone else in the live chat make a reservation for this one?
Well, I can't make a reservation because I'm in Canada, so I don't have the option. Otherwise, I would have, because I am really super excited about this. I love this. I said when they announced this, I guess it was the original one, that I was very concerned about why they would put the pinball stuff up there, because it's the first time we can actually have real arcade, I don't know what you call them, marquees actually displayed on the LCD screen. So why wouldn't you show that? But then again, they don't have the licenses to that, so it's hard to do. But that's why I'm excited about it. I like the bit pixel for the arcade. I've never really been interested in, But the bid LCD, being able to put arcade accurate marquees as I go from game to game to game, will actually blur that line from the Multicade to the real arcade for me and make the experience a little bit more enjoyable.
Yeah. There was a question in the live chat from GG. He goes, "Hey PDubs, are you happy with the Legends Ultimate Mini?" Which he's talking about their mini arcade cabinet, which is this one right here, the 3/4 scale cabinet. I have the one that's the Tetris edition cabinet. And what's interesting about this is I panned this product when I reviewed it. And I think it's because I already own so many AtGames devices and they already do the same thing. And I think you, me, Cool Toy, a few other guys who reviewed it all said the same thing. Like, you don't really need it if you already have the Legends Ultimate, but if it's your first Legends product, it could be okay. But what I can tell you is I did not really like this product at first, and especially when I filmed my review. Now, for folks who follow my channel, since that review, I've put in new buttons, new joystick, new marquee, have it sitting on a Buy Stuff Store riser to raise it up 4 inches taller. What else did I do? New artwork on the front of the control panel. What else did I do? I think I did something else to it.
You put a magnet in it. I can't repeat that. It's from Borat.
Yeah.
So you finish it up.
So basically, because I've made some tweaks to the cabinet after the fact, the cabinet's grown on me, and I'm actually at the point now where here, if we can take this off screen, Mike. If you want to get that off of there. Oh wait, sorry. I'm actually at the point now where, since I have the Legends Ultimate 1.0, the 1.1, and the Legends Ultimate Mini, Mike, I have too many. You know what I mean? So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep one of the minis and one of the Legends Ultimates. And I think, Mike, this kind of plays into how you and I are going to try and make room for more products. Right. I think I'm going to let go of one of my Legends Ultimate cabinets behind me, guys, because I really don't need two. You know what I mean?
No, I mean, like, the Legends Ultimate 1.0, I'm surprised you held on to it as long as you did. I understand why, because you've got your own beautiful artwork. They did such a good job with that artwork they did for your Legends Ultimate cab, so you'd want to keep it. However,
you're talking about the Joe Sabo artwork that I have?
Yeah.
From Sabo's Arcades?
Yeah. From Sabo's Arcades. Use offer code PDubs.
Cheap plug.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like, it's so nice. I can understand why you kept it. But honestly, the 1.1 renders it pointless.
Yeah, the reason, and I don't think anyone's ever asked me, the reason why I kept two is because I cover AtGames on my channel, and I assume they would be releasing more stuff for both cabinets. And but AtGames, it seems to me, is kind of hit the brake pedal. Not they were on the gas pedal. Now they're on the brake pedal. They're slowing down. Less products, less hardware. We're going to get a bunch of pinball games, so there will be more software. But it seems to me, Mike, they're going the micro console and the software route versus these other home arcade companies that are building cabinets. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you might be right. Maybe that's the direction they're going to go in terms of new product. I think the Core Max is really going to be the big product they go forward with. But part of that might be, and what I've been told, if you look at the other companies, like even Arcade 1-Up, if all the cabs come to fruition that Arcade 1-Up are putting out there, it looks like Arcade 1-Up is actually scaling a little back this year compared to last year in the amount of products they're putting out there. And what I've been told is the retailers are expecting this to be a slower year, where a lot of the places are in recession, gas prices and all the shipping prices are so high. Retail purchases might be down a little bit. So from what I understand, AtGames is maybe holding off putting out a bunch of new products because they know that it's going to be a harder year to sell stuff, and there might be a big bump of AtGames stuff coming out next year when the economy is a little bit better. That's what I've been told. So Scarpad's Comic Trek, Scarpad with a $4.99 super chat. Thank you very much. He also really liked the picture of you as Scarlet Witch earlier, by the way.
That was terrible. That was terrible.
He's been at me all day about that. He calls me a dick. Like,
I've called you a dick on every social media platform I possibly could for that, putting my face on Wanda. But I got to admit, though, I look kind of hot.
I do, yeah. Definitely. I think the Legends Mini is underrated for $3.99, and I paid $2.99 plus the riser. And looking at how expensive one-ups are, I think it's outstanding. So it's funny. This is actually the reason why I wanted to talk about AtGames, is because even though, like you, I did my initial review and I panned this cabinet as well, I actually have one coming. Should be here on Wednesday.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, and I'll be open and honest about this. AtGames actually reached out to me, and there's a opportunity coming up for me to take another look at it and do something else with it. So they asked if I would want one, and yeah, so I'm going to give it another look. I think you're right, and we all talked about this afterwards. Like, none of us talked before we put our reviews out of the product, but all of us kind of did the same review. And there's some definitely valid points. Like, if you're telling somebody about overall sheer quality, and the price point of the AtGames Legends Ultimate, you can just go to Sam's and get it for like a minuscule more, smaller amount more. So all those points are still valid. But what we didn't consider was people maybe with smaller footprints, people that didn't have the room to bring an ALU in there, people that were looking for a smaller one-player option that had a couple.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of value to this that we didn't see. One of the things I really talked about it, especially for people that want an arcade experience that they can quickly then turn around to be a really good pinball experience, this is the cab for that. And especially if you team this with the Core Max, where you can now get your pinball in 1080p, that's a pretty dope experience. So, I'm pretty excited to get this and try it out and have another look at the Legends Ultimate Mini. The other thing too is, unlike you got your Legends Ultimate Mini from AtGames and got to keep it. I had it for a very short period of time where I had to run it through its paces. So I'm more excited to take my time with it this time and get to enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, but then again, it's taken a long time for the Mini to grow on me. You know what I mean? Like, I've had to do these basic mods to really like it more. You know what I mean? So, plus I have the mounts for mounting your steering wheels to them, and the yoke if you want from the Buy Stuff store. So it's like gives you more variety.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So, like, I put my what is that, Ori Super Mario Wii wheel on there. And then I had my Switch connected to the cabinet, right? But I'm playing racing games on the cabinet, standing up, you know what I mean? Which is pretty cool. So, that's fun stuff.
One thing I'm really interested in, and I know they're not coming out with a lot of new product this year, but are we going to get swappable decks for the Legends Ultimate Mini at some point? So are we going to get a deck with a trackball, spinner, something along those lines?
That would have been cool. I mean, I think that's what they were originally intending. But man, AtGames they've just slowed down. You know what I mean?
It's slow,
So yeah.
You got a Core Max too, don't you?
Yeah, so the Core Max I paid for out of my own pocket. That just arrived last week, and I'll be honest, guys, I took it out of the box and I compared the sizes to them and put it back in the box. I haven't even plugged it in and turned it on yet. And the reason why is the Legends Core Max, because it's a brand new product, just like all of AtGames products. When these products are brand new, they're on a kind of like a base beta firmware out of the box, right? They're not on the quote unquote universal latest firmwares where you have access to every feature and function. So honestly, like, until they push out that firmware on this thing, like, I really don't even see a reason to turn it on. You know what I mean? Because I'm not even going to be able to do a lot of the things I want to do with it or make content on for it. So yeah, I'm just waiting until they get that thing on the firmware, and then maybe I'll make a video about it. It's just another. I just have so much AtGames stuff, man.
I know. I know. So Mark Whitman says the Core Max won't play all the pinball tables. So I don't have a Core Max. I can't comment on that. You haven't really had a chance to do it. So, well, and Ritual Dillo says it's the firmware version, Mark. It will. Problem solved. Done. We don't need to talk about that anymore. Moving on. Anyways, that's really it for AtGames right now. We know that they've got a Father's Day sale coming up, and they've also got another. They do another. What's it called? National Owners Day. Some point around this time of year, don't they? Some kind of event.
I don't know if they're going to do another National Owners Day this fall.
That's like the fall. Okay, well, anyways, there's a Father's Day sale coming up. There's potentially,
we know that. Yeah.
Potentially new pinball coming up around the corner, and maybe some new products in the near future. Nothing huge, but maybe there is something coming out.
There is?
Anything is possible. I don't understand what the Core Max's purpose is. This is an easy one for me to say. The Core Max's purpose is honestly, it's an outside upgrade. And like you can use it to basically upgrade the brain of your Legends Ultimate 1.0, 1.0, 1.1, the brain of your AtGames Legends Ultimate Mini, and it'll give it basically the pinball. What is it? The pinball CPU, the pinball chip, isn't it? Exactly the same operating.
It's got the same chipset as the pinball.
Yeah, so basically it overtakes the operating system, and you can play pinball in 1080p. And I don't know a lot about it yet because I haven't been following the Core Max because it's not available here yet. But there's also benefits to emulation as well, right? With a stronger PC or stronger chipset.
Well, yeah, true, but
yeah,
until they get this thing on the later firmwares and stuff, I'm not gonna tinker with it myself too much. You know what I mean?
But you got it, and you will tinker with it when it happens.
I will, true. But I'm sure our wonderful community who like to find ways to play more games will will be all over this. You know what I mean? So we'll see.
Sterling Hall, you don't have a Tron cab, so you might not know Sterling. Sterling is like the world record holder in Tron. He's number one on the leaderboards, number one in our hearts. So Sterling says, Michael touched on this earlier, Arcade 1-Up is providing nostalgia. When the cabinet looks like the game you were playing it really brings you back. Anyone can buy a Multicade.
Yep.
100%.
And we were talking about that. Like, so for instance, like I can play Golden Tee on my AtGames, but I prefer to play Golden Tee on the Arcade 1-Up Golden Tee machines. It's just let me rephrase. The original Arcade 1-Up Golden Tee cabinet, it was a better experience, right? Now it's cool that, you have a trackball and you can play it via USB and you can play the Golden Tee games, but for some reason it was just a better experience playing it on the Arcade 1-Up. Maybe it's because it was a Golden Tee cabinet, you know what I mean, versus a Multicade. Same thing with Star Wars. You could play the Star Wars games on these Multicades, but the Arcade 1-Up Star Wars cabinet, I don't play Star Wars on AtGames. I go play it on my Arcade 1-Up Star Wars, right?
There's a don't ever forget the power of nostalgia, of making transporting you back to a simpler time, the full experience, even if it's not as good as the original arcade. There's certain elements there. I talked about it with the bid LCD. Just having the original marquee up above the game while I'm playing is going to add an element of nostalgia there for me that wasn't there previously and make it more enjoyable. So, yeah.
Which I never understood, like, why there's this battle line, you know what I mean? With some people, like, some people out there just cannot fathom having, let's just say, Arcade 1-Ups plus having an iiRcade in their house or an AtGames. You know what I mean? I have all these products. I have Arcade 1-Ups for the games that I really am nostalgic for and really want to have. The cabinets are beautiful, etc. Gameplay is usually decent depending on the cabinet. Usually the controls and marquees are the stuff we complain about. But then again, there's nothing wrong with, I have 5 or 6 Arcade 1-Ups in my house, but I also have an AtGames that has access to thousands of games. Like, in case I want to play just something weird that Arcade 1-Up is never going to give you. You know what I mean? Like, you could turn on your iiRcade or your AtGames and probably get that arcade experience from those. You know what I mean? I have found so many people are so focused on the top 50 arcade games of all time. I gotta tell you guys, since I've been in this hobby the last 2.5 years, Mike, I have found dozens and dozens of amazing games that I never would have experienced if it wasn't for Multicades and just community builds and like, hey guys, there's 1,000 arcade games. Go hit the random button and just try one out. You know what I mean? Like, so many amazing games I've discovered. So I think you could totally have one plus the others. But then again, some people, hey, if all you want is one, it's cool. So don't hate on the people that have both.
Yeah, I get it. Like I get it. So like I love my Multicades, but at the same time, having Multicades directly next to my arcade one-ups. You could tell. Like it felt off to me. It didn't feel like an arcade experience, but that's just my preference. Other people would have, an iiRcade that's skinned a certain way down there, and they'd be like, beautiful, best looking machine in my whole arcade. Some people would have the Legends Ultimate, which, I really like the look of the Legends Ultimate, but the Legends Ultimate next to a row of arcade one-ups sometimes looks a little weird to me. So
one of these things is not like the other.
It's all about perception and what you want. I actually,
you know what you would do, Mike, if you had an AtGames in your downstairs, which is your arcade one-up room, you would go to like a Costco, Sam's Club, or whatever, and be like, "Give me the biggest brown paper bag you have, because I need to put this over an arcade machine." You would wrap it, wouldn't you? And if people walk by and they'd be like, "What is that in the corner?" You would
That's
say,
the dirty Multicade.
Like, you can't know. We're not taking the bag off. I know you, Mike. You're a hater.
Well, I will tell you.
But I'm only teasing you because what's funny, guys, one thing that Michael and I have in common is out in my loft, out of the 14 machines in my loft, 12 of them are arcade one-ups. Then I got like a Rec Room Masters, and then I got another iiRcade out there. Oh, and I got the MVSX. So 11 out of 14 are arcade one-ups. So it's like my arcade one-up room, right? And then in my office here is like where I have all my Multicades. Like this is my brothel of horror ROMs. And out there is like the Sistine Chapel.
Yeah. So you make a good point. And what I was trying to say was, I've enjoyed my Multicades more since I separated them. Having this space, and especially now, like where I've got my daughter, like I'll be watching her in her room and I can just pop in here and play something quick on one of my Multicades. But if I go down in my arcade, I got to turn everything on and it's a different experience. So I've enjoyed my stuff up here more now that I've separated. It's weird. It is what it is.
All right. Sorry, I was catching up on your live chat.
That's okay. But we're going to move on now because the next company I want to talk about is our good friends, iiRcade. Now, we're both getting iiRcade Gold Editions, right? You're getting the Space Invaders?
Yes. I'm getting Space Invaders because I wanted to get the newer style cabinet, but also I wanted it to have more of the original retro theme type artworks, such as Dragon's Lair Space. I didn't want Dead Cells. And the reason why is my Dragon's Lair cabinet here, I'm going to get rid of this. I'm actually going to do a giveaway on my channel, Mike, and I'm going to give this away to a viewer. I'm going to give away this cabinet for free.
Oh, that's nice.
To a viewer. Nice, yeah. And I'm going to put Space Invaders there. Now, my other iiRcade that's out in my loft, that's my Retromania Wrestling cabinet. I'm going to keep that one. What I've tried to do with iiRcade is, since I have two cabinets, is a lot of the modern art games that are on the iiRcade, I have on the Retromania cabinet. And then a lot of the retro games I have on Dragon's Lair. So, of course, those will fit better on the Space Invaders cabinet.
Jeff Walsh, $5 super chat. Thank you very much, brother. How do you not have the iiRcade for a jukebox in the arcade? I use it as a jukebox the most. I don't have room. Room is such a problem, which we're going to get into a large conversation about room when we start talking about arcade one-up. So I just don't really have the room for like a jukebox, something to use as a jukebox. I have like a little Beats pill that I'll just put up on a shelf and then connect to my phone through Bluetooth. And that's how my music works down there. But I will tell you, I wish there was a better version of that Crosley jukebox. Like, I would definitely buy one of those. Do you use your Crosley jukebox at all, P-Dubs?
So we ended up, the goal was to have that in the game room, especially if we ever get to expanding my loft, which, we've talked about in the past, but, I got my surgery, I had my mom's funeral. It's delayed my renovation project in my house. So that Crosley jukebox is downstairs in my wife's reading room. So she really likes it and she uses it more than me. Like, she'll be in there, have it on, listening to music and stuff while she's reading. So what I usually do, and I used to use like the Retromania Wrestling cabinet in the loft to like jam out. But then I got that the New Wave toys, the M90.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And that thing looks
Boombox.
so cool. I actually have that boombox sitting on top of the iArcade because it's got that nice flat edge, and I connect my phone to that, and I just play music through that while when we're in the arcade. So that boombox is actually the M90 from New Wave Toys has actually taken place of me using the jukebox feature on the iArcade. You know what I mean? So because I want to be able to play games on the iArcade when I'm in the loft, right?
Yeah.
So
I will tell you, I wish Arcade went up $1 million idea here. You guys got to do a 720 arcade, and the marquee has to be a working Bluetooth jukebox.
There you go.
$1 million idea.
$1 million idea.
Thank you so much, Jeff Walsh, for the super chat, brother. I appreciate it. Let me just go down here. I wanted to. Someone said, and if I missed it, I'm sorry. Someone said they were going to get the Double Dragon iArcade. I will tell you right now, I ordered the Dead Cells, but if I didn't order the Dead Cells, I would have ordered the Gold Double Dragon, except for the fact that you have to apply your own art. I wish they had stopped doing that, that this wasn't a black cabinet, that this was actually a pre-done Double Dragon cabinet, because that's the iArcade I actually would have bought. But since it is apply your own art, it came down to Dead Cells and Dragon's Lair, and I decided to go with Dead Cells just because it's so different, it's so pretty, and it's a multicade. I want it to look like a multicade, and just want it to be a pretty one.
And you're going to have that in your office then? It'll be where the other one is back there?
Yeah. I now my iArcade back there, I'm going to break a rule there, because I never usually, anything that's given to me for the channel for review or something like that, I usually keep it. But I mean, there's no point in having 2 iArcades. Like I tell my buddy Mike Dalton with his 70 iArcades, there's no point in having multiple iArcades. So I'm either going to sell it or I'll probably give it to my brother, to be honest.
Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. So I threw it in the live chat, Mike, because we want to get hear from the viewers. Are you guys picking up an iArcade this year? Are you going to pick up a gold edition or maybe even one of the originals? Because the originals are on sale as well as the gold editions. And which ones are you going to get? And then we're going to probably pivot over, and we have a lot of arcade 1-up cabinets to talk about, but we'll try and go we'll go as quickly as we can. So we definitely want to, guys, this is your show too. I want to know what you guys are picking up. I see Mitchell B is getting a Dragon's Lair.
Charlie Chuck is not getting an iArcade, which is not a huge surprise to me.
All right, Mike, we're going to do one of my things here. You know how I always plug the small guys, right?
Yeah.
The newer channels. Guys, Bill's Retro Gaming Show is going to get a Space Invaders Gold. And do me a favor, guys, make sure you check out Bill's Retro Gaming Show on YouTube. I've actually become a fan of his channel. Bill, your videos are really, really long, but I do enjoy listening to them while I'm working. But guys, make sure you check out his channel. He's actually a really nice guy. I've really enjoyed listening to his videos while I'm working.
Scarpad says, I like the Retromania I have. I'm going to tell you, I wish Retromania was one of the options here, because that's what I actually would have got. Because the Retromania is so dope, and it kills me because we saw those pictures of 19K Fox when he was in the office, and you could see the Retromania gold proof of concept they had there, and I'm like, you sons of bees. Why didn't you put that up as one of the cabinets? Eventually, there's going to be more gold, but I mean, the sale was just too good to pass up, and it was just those 4 there. So there you go.
So Chris Zeke, Mark Whitman's getting Space Invaders Gold. We love Mark. He's one of our favorite viewers. So thanks, Mark, for sharing that. Chris Zeke wrote, what's the deal with the DIY for the DD on the new cabs anyway? That cab looks sharp. If you're talking about the artwork, the whole point of that cabinet is it's called a black edition cabinet. So the cabinet itself is just plain black. However, it does come with bonus Double Dragon artwork. So you have some artwork out of the box that you could apply and put on if you wanted to have artwork on the cabinet. A lot of people just call it the Double Dragon cabinet because it comes with the bonus artwork.
But see, here's where it's different. This one,
you could go to like arcadegraphics.com and just like order whatever artwork you want. You have a blank canvas to put it on.
You know, that's a really good point. The only thing that's different with this one is the fact that marquee comes standard, right? The Double Dragon marquee. It's not just like black marquee. Or is that a sticker you put on as well?
That's interesting. I haven't thought about that because that's supposed to be a translucent piece of plexi, kind of like, Kind of like what Arcade 1UP is doing on the T2 cabinets and all that.
Yeah.
So, did you put your iiRcade hat on?
We're talking iiRcade. We got to.
So, my dogs were barking because my wife just walked in the door. My apologies, guys, but they shut up now.
It's not a big deal. Like half the time my wife comes in, drops 9 F-bombs. The kids are yelling. It's okay. This is not a professional show. This is not NBC. So let's keep going.
Yep.
But anyways, I'm interested to see other people buying these, and I'm interested to see how many people will actually upgrade. I don't know if the term upgrade is the right term with this, but how many people will want the gold edition? For me, it's total FOMO. Like, I just want the new features. I had a conversation with Jong too, and he gave me the sale on the experience. He was like, you have no idea the difference between this and the standard edition. You'll feel it when you play it. And I wanted that experience. I wanted to believe what Jong said. So I decided to make the plunge and put my money down. I paid for mine, and I've got dead cells coming. So I'm pretty excited.
Nice. All right.
So that's it for iiRcade. There's nothing really else happening. We could talk about the peripherals.
This is weird, Mike, because I want to complain about something, but we promised people we would be positive tonight.
There's nothing really to complain about. So what's there to complain about? The only complaint we can really make is it's hard to find room for all this shit that you want to buy, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. So when it comes to what's in my office, sacrificial lamb for me would be probably one of the big Legends Ultimate cabinets behind me.
Yeah.
And then obviously that iiRcade, the Dragon's Lair is gonna go. I'm gonna do a giveaway, give that to one of my viewers on the channel once the Space Invaders cabinet arrives, and we'll put the Space Invaders cabinet back there. So that's how I'll make room and shuffle in the office. The loft gets harder, man, because if you think about it, after 2.5 years of buying like 20, 30 Arcade 1UP cabinets, and you're always like, okay, I'm going to keep my favorites, but get rid of the ones I don't play. And then you have so many favorites. Now you're making really tough decisions, right?
That is such a good comment. Before we go any further, Console Fanboy has an excellent question here. How do you afford all these cabs, Dubs, and Michael? Like, Dubs, you don't have to be shy about this. You're a wealthy man. Like, you just have a really good job and you can afford them. Like, I mean, that's it. You've got a kid. He's grown up. You don't have little kids. You've got your bills in order. So yeah. You do well.
I do well.
And me, I'm a male prostitute.
Yep.
I think you said it best, Dubs. And to answer your question, Console Fanboy, to be honest, I had a lot of expendable income, a lot because of the COVID break, and we weren't going out, we weren't doing anything, we weren't spending money on gas. I don't have as much now, and I also don't have as much expendable income because of the baby. So now, like you, I've got full arcade. I got a lot of games that I'm very happy with and don't want to say goodbye to. So I don't have as much money and as much interest in getting rid of stuff to make room for new stuff coming in. That's about it.
All right. Well, we made him wait 50 minutes, Mike. So we're going to have to go long tonight and to talk Arcade 1UP.
No, actually, you guys come back next week for part 2. Can you imagine?
In the multiverse of madness. So
no, of course no, that's not what I want. Hey, that's a John Oliver screen. I like that one. That's the first time I've seen that. Anyways, here we go. So Arcade 1UP.
You got to zoom in. You got to hold the control button and zoom in with your mouse.
Dubs.
People can't see. I'm sorry. I'm so used to producing. Oh wait, did I just complain about something?
Yes, Dubs. Look, we'll go into it here in a second. Is that better? So let's go to the Arcade 1UP cab. So the way we're going to do this.
Can we not talk about this cabinet?
We're not going to talk about it in a negative way. And
all right. We're just going to say yes or no. Wait, what happened? Mike? Where'd you go? Mike? Oh my God, did his internet go out? Oh my God. I really thought your internet went out because you're hosting the show. I can't see where you are because usually I'm hosting.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you what happened now. So what happened was, I actually. Oh, where is it? Oh yeah, I gotta add to stream. Yeah. There we go. What happened is I actually went to press back to get out of the Shack Edition, but I pressed back on this browser that StreamYard is in. It kicked me out of StreamYard. Yeah. The two screens got messed up. Professional show here, guys. Professional show. So, anyways, let's go back here. I'm in the right window.
We're not going to talk about the monitor, are we?
No, we're not going to talk about the monitor.
All right.
So, of the cabinets that are just announced that are out right now, there's only 2 that are readily available right now to order, but we could include Golden Tee 3D. I'm just going to say I passed on that because I had Golden Tee, the original Golden Tee, decided I didn't want to keep it and actually let it go so I could bring more stuff in. So Golden Tee 3D XL for me, even though it's exciting because it's the first XL cabinet, was going to be a hard sell because I already had a Golden Tee and knew that it wasn't one that I really wanted to keep in my arcade. So for me, I didn't get it. For you, you did pick it up. So there we go. Anyways, of the 2 that are currently available for pre-order right now, we have Dragon's Lair and NBA Jam. Dubs, are you getting either one of these cabinets?
We should probably talk about the monitor.
Talk about the monitor?
Real quick. We'll go real quick. All right, so this Arcade 1UP NBA Jam XL cabinet. This monitor, the Golden Tee monitor and the iiRcade monitor are the same monitor. Now, what's really interesting is the the Golden Tee monitor, it comes in a case that says like Starlight, Starbright, something like that. That's the label on it. So a lot of people assume that that is the make, model, brand, myself included, right? But actually, that's the brand for the case that the monitor rests in. If you actually decase the monitor and pull it out, it is actually the same company, AUP, AU Uptronics, and same monitor that the iiRcade uses. Now, here's what's interesting. Though, is when it comes to the monitors being the same between both companies, the picture looks way better on the iiRcade than it does on the NBA Jam, as well as on the Golden Tee cabinet, because they're both 19-inch TN monitors. They're not IPS screens, right? So they're not going to have as good of viewing angles as IPS screens. But what's interesting is the monitor and the Golden Tee is a few degrees further laid back than the iiRcade. So because it's laid back further, slanted, it adds to the washout factor. But not only that, there's also a difference between the PCBs that are powering these devices, right? The iiRcade PCB, as well as the Arcade 1UP PCB, the amount of voltage going between both monitors. And let's be honest, it sounds like iiRcade has been spending a lot of time optimizing their games to look as good as possible for the player when the player is playing on the game, right? Whereas Arcade 1UP, the feeling you get is like they got it up and running like on the test monitor, like at somebody's desk, and then the monitor was probably sitting at a 90-degree angle on somebody's desk. And then they said, okay, good. Just shove it off to production. Not realizing that, it's going to look that way when it was released. So myself and others, we've spent way too much time the last few days researching and investigating this issue.
So, I'll give
it's literally given me a headache. Like, I honestly don't even care anymore.
Brief overview of what happened was
they are the same. They are the same model.
Yeah.
So monitor J-Cups.
Let me just go back and I will explain what transpired. So we were under the impression they were different monitors because if you take them off, there's a case on the monitor and the brand of the monitor. One is Lightstar, one is a different company. And I made a comment on Super Game Room Dudes when we talked about it because of that. And I said, well, it's possible they're still the same monitor. It's like catch up. Like, one bottle you buy says Heinz, the other bottle might say Great Value catch up, but they might be coming out of the same plant and then repackaged. And it appears that's what is transpiring here. So even though they're in different packages, they are the exact same monitor. And like you said, I went over and did my video yesterday. Is it really that bad? And putting it next to the iiRcade, there is similar washout and discoloration, but the iiRcade is much more bright and much more vibrant. It's obviously optimized. And whether that has to do with the angle, whether that has to do, like you said, with the power going to it or the development of the games, iiRcade definitely
There's
is
a
a
number
better.
of factors.
Yeah, number of factors.
They're using different PCBs, different
Yeah.
voltage. There's a lot of things going on.
So for everybody saying, why can't these monitors be swapped out? If you're not a fan of the iiRcade monitor, well, then, it is what it is. But the positive thing here is if Arcade 1-Up does have a warehouse of these, and this sucks now, these are unfortunately beta versions, and with them knowing the difference, maybe they can, instead of using the chips that they normally use for their arcade cabinets, maybe they can use some of those pinball chips they use, a little bit more power going to the screen, and spend some time and optimize it, and they can at least get the screen to look as good as the iiRcade screen. And then again, if you don't like the iiRcade screen, I'm sorry, you're shit out of luck, because I think that's about as good as it's going to get.
Yeah. But so we can move on to the next cabinet. Am I going to get Shaq? No, I'm not getting Shaq.
No, I do miss my NBA Jam, my 3/4 scale NBA Jam. I'm not going to lie about that. But for me, a lot of this is the art. I've already made 100 videos on it. I don't think I'm getting Shaq either. I'm going to wait till the next XLR Pro Cab. I want one. I just haven't got anything that tickled my fancy yet.
Yeah.
All right, moving on, Dubs. Dragon's Lair.
Yeah, so this one's very interesting because if I bought it, myself, Mike, this would be just a more for decoration, not a game that I would actually play. And because we've talked about this in other videos, because I have Dragon's Lair Trilogy on Steam, on my console systems, on the iiRcade, like, to me, like, that's all I need. That's probably why I'm not going to get this one. If I had a giant game room with plenty of square footage, I might get this thing, like, if, whenever the price comes down, you know what I mean? Like, for like a decoration, you know what I mean? But I don't think I would play it. Like, I know there's people out there that love Dragon's Lair and they're going to play this thing every day, right? Until they get bored of it. But yeah, I'm not getting Dragon's Lair. But guys, if you're picking up Dragon's Lair, let us know in the live chat. What about Mike? You're getting this one though.
I am getting this. It's already ordered from the Brick here in Canada. As soon as I found out I could order from the Brick, I realized no shipping and extra duty charges. I got in. I'm very excited for this, and unfortunately, in order to make room for this one is, I know I'm going to take hell from this in the comments. In order to make room for this is going to mean the untimely demise of my Frogger cabinet. Frogger, you were a good friend to me for a long time now, but it's time for you to go, pal.
All right, guys, it is confirmed. MichaelBtheGameGenie will be sacrificing Frogger to make way for Dragon's Lair.
Man, I love that Frogger cabinet. It's so cool, but again, it's not the right art. It doesn't have the right music, and the screen Vaseline is just, it sucks. We talked about this. I might make a video sometime soon doing Arcade 1-Up cabinets. We know they're going to re-release them. How did they make it better? I'll probably do that video on Frogger before I let it go.
Oh, you're going to make like a follow-up video? Nah, I'm not even going to mention that.
All right. I love my Frogger cabinet.
No, because whenever I say ideas, you make the video before me. You thief.
You told me I should make it. We had a conversation about what video I should make. This wasn't a conversation about, hey, here's a video I'm going to do, and I'm going to, woo! This was a literal conversation where you said, hey, Mike, I have an idea for you. So then I do it, and you're like, Stealer, you stole my idea.
That's right. That's right. I reached out to you because I think it would be a great video series for you doing these follow-up videos on these cabinets. So yeah. All right, Mike, I'm surprised you got a number of fans in your live chat who are disappointed you're getting rid of Frogger.
I know.
Me, I couldn't be more excited that you're getting rid of Frogger. All right, let's keep going, man. We got a lot of
knows a goodbye Frogger video. Goodbye, Frogger, my old friend.
With the Sarah McLachlan song, "In the Arms of an Angel."
No, I'm gonna go with a different one. I will remember.
That's you. It. Or God, who is it? It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday.
Yeah.
All right,
Charlie Chuck. No loyalty, Cheesy B. No loyalty.
Hey, we've been mostly positive tonight, Mike. I'm impressed.
No, like loyalty to Frogger, he means.
I know. And getting rid of Frogger is probably the most positive thing that's happened on this entire episode.
Why are you so down on Frogger? I actually do love that cabinet.
All right, let's keep going. We got a lot to do here.
No, we don't. We're done.
No, we got more. We got more, bro.
All right. So it's a little bit hard to get into these, but let's move on now to the legacy machines.
Yes, let's talk legacy.
Yeah, these are going to be coming up for pre-order really super soon, because I think these are actually supposed to come out. Is it July, August, around that time period? That's the release date according to the GameFly leaks.
Yeah, June, July, something like that. Should be very soon. Very soon.
All right, dope. So first up, we've got the Centipede Atari Legacy Edition. The big change from this, from the Tempest, of course, is the fact that this is Centipede branded. The machine looks absolutely unreal, like beautiful. It's going to have 14 games instead of 12. You still get iiRcade, but you're getting Lunar Lander back. And what's the other game that's different, PDubs?
Do you have the games list right there? If you can pull it up, I can tell you.
Super Breakout and Lunar Lander are back on this one. Yeah,
Super Breakout. Super Breakout's fun.
But you still have iiRcade, unfortunately. iiRcade.
Now, I have done a lot to my Tempest Legacy cabinet. I'm also, guys, we're still working on getting Glenn's spinner up and running. Arcade went up, changed the pins and the protocols, and we've been trying different cables and had to do some soldering. And either way, guys, we're trying to get his spinner up and running. But between his spinner, trackball, volcano buttons, I just recently got my waterfall control panel. I got Joe Sabo's marquee. Coin door from Retro 530. Like, I've invested a lot in that Tempest Legacy cabinet, Mike. And also I love the shape of the cabinet, the artwork on it. I'm sticking with that one. Yeah. Like, really, if I upgrade, it would just be because, hey, this thing's online and it has leaderboards, and I don't care. So I'm sticking with Tempest Legacy. But guys, are you picking up Centipede Legacy? Let us know. I'm sticking with Tempest. So
I think this is one of the nicest looking cabinets they've made.
Yeah, it's cool.
But I also have Tempest. I'm also relatively happy with Tempest. I don't think the control panel is different. That's the one thing that would entice me, because on the Tempest, it's started to really bother me, and it's here as well. I don't like the fact that, let me go back here, the buttons are directly under the spinner. And I always, like, the way I play with the spinner, my like wrist is like laying on the buttons. I don't like that. If you go back to the original 12-in-1, the spinner was to the side, so you were just resting on the control panel. I hate where the buttons are. If somebody could talk to Arcade One Up, that's not a good place for buttons under a spinner. But the thing that really gets me on this, and I know I'm probably the only person, is the fact that I make sure I'm on the right screen, is the fact it's a horizontal monitor. I know why it's a horizontal monitor, but it's a Centipede cab with a horizontal monitor.
Mike, we weren't going to be negative. You're going to try and be
positive. You're right. But
just say yes, no, and let's go on to the next one.
one thing I do want to say about this, though, is even though this cab is gorgeous, it's made me appreciate the Tempest more, because if you go back and look at the original Tempest, even though the original Tempest has a horizontal monitor, it has that big horizontal front to it. So the horizontal monitor actually makes sense with Tempest, because it actually looks like the real arcade cabinet when you look at the real arcade cabinet front on. Centipede doesn't. I think this will be an awesome machine. Anybody who gets it, you're going to get an absolute masterpiece for your arcade. It's just, I don't think either one of us are getting it. Now I'm moving on and being positive. I'm sorry.
All right. We're trying to do less complaining, because that's all we've done on YouTube the last couple of weeks. But we can complain next week, Mike.
Yeah.
So I made a great video called Pac-Mania is Running Wild. Here's the thing, guys. If I did not have the class of 1981 cabinet, I would totally buy this Pac-Mania cabinet. But because I have class of 81, and it's pretty much the same games, just different artwork, different shape of the cabinet, plus I think maybe 2 games added, I would probably, pick this up. But this is a no for me, only because I have the class of 81. And I really like the class of 81. I'm keeping that cabinet. What about you, Mike?
Well, I didn't buy class of 81, but that doesn't really matter to me. I already have the last edition of the Bandai Namco. I love that because it has really the original art, looks so good compared to an original cabinet. For me, the upgrade to the additional games and the online features don't really do anything for me. I think that it's a beautiful looking cab, but honestly, if I'm going to buy a Pac-Man cab, I want Pac-Man or Miss Pac-Man. There's the only two.
Yeah, and no, there's a lot of games that cross over between both cabinets. So a couple people in the chat are like, "Wait, guys, this is a different game." Guys, I'll be honest, I like Miss Pac-Man more than regular Pac-Man. I'll fight you on it. Miss Pac-Man's a more fun game, and also, Pac-Man, Pac and Pal, Pac-Land. Like, I'm burnt out on Pac-Man, dude. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
the Class of '81 cabinet is enough for me to say I don't need another Bandai Namco Legacy cabinet. So there you go.
So BCB 147, for the people that are only going to play games on an Arcade 1-Up cabinet, he makes a good point. Rolling Thunder's on this. Rolling Thunder is a great game. However, it's not the marquee game, so I'm not really losing anything if I then turn around and play Rolling Thunder instead on a Multicade. So for me, a game that's an additional game on an Arcade 1-Up cabinet doesn't add a lot of value. I really buy these, and this is going to sound crazy, but it's true, for the marquee game.
So, whatchamacallit? What was I gonna say? Sorry, I was reading that plus this. Rolling Thunder is a game that I never gave a chance to. Like, but once you actually play it and give it time and just play it and keep playing it and figuring things out, learning the patterns of like what enemies come out of one door, what doors. It's a really cool game. Like, I really like Rolling Thunder. Like, I've gotten used to that game.
Yeah. So, I think we're both in agreement here. This is a really cool looking cabinet, unique, interesting, but it's not for either of us. Like, the upgrade, like, if I didn't have a Bandai Namco Legacy already, maybe I would be interested in this, but I've got something so close already. The Wi-Fi doesn't excite me. I'm going to stick with what I have.
Yeah. Console Fanboy, I don't know if he joined late or not, but what Mike and I were talking about is, like, we keep saying we're making videos on what we don't like and what we don't want to buy. So tonight's show was going to be, these are the things that we do want to buy and the things that we're excited about. But we keep slipping back into the old ways of, but Mike, that marquee looks a little funky.
Well, it's not the old
trying
ways.
To have a fun show. It's nothing like, don't overthink things, man. We're just trying to have fun.
I'm still having a fun show. Zohar, thank you very much for the super chat, brother. We try our best to provide constructive criticism to all these companies, regardless of whatever it is. And I'm still going to do that here. But what we're trying to do is just focus on the positive and talk about what we're excited to pick up. I guess that's what you're trying to say, PDubs. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because I was talking to Mike. I was like, Mike, I looked at my last 4 or 5 Arcade 1-Up videos that I've done on my channel, and it's just me saying, I'm not buying this. I'm not buying this. I'm not buying this. Which is great. That's great content. It's out there. It's going to stay out there. But there are things I'm genuinely interested in, such as, let's switch to the next cabinet. And I'm pretty sure you'll hear, like, this is probably one I'm going to be picking up when you switch to the next cabinet.
No reason to be sorry at all, Zohar. It is what it is. Something I want to bring up here. Nooner says, your 5 reasons to buy or not buy are good for the viewer, potential buyer.
I'm glad that. I'm glad you like that series. I actually canceled it because Michael B stole it from me and started making. You stole it from me and started making "Should you buy" videos, and it's the exact same video.
It's not the same. It's not the same video. You do realize.
You know what's funny though? After I did that video, then I started seeing it everywhere. 3 reasons to buy. You know what I mean? I saw 4 reasons, but it was so funny. It's just fun,
sweetheart. I love you.
I love you too.
But it wasn't that novel or new of an idea. Maybe in this space, but
all right. Can we go to the next cabinet?
Yes.
Because I'm genuinely excited because I know which one you're going to pull up.
Yep.
There it is. So I am going to be now. How am I going to make room for this? Well, I still have that Midway Legacy cabinet, right? So of course I'm going to get rid of that, and I'm going to pick this up because who doesn't want to play Mortal Kombat? And Mortal Kombat Online with fellow Arcade 1-Up owners, this should be fun. So, and me personally, I get crucified whenever I say this. So people always put it in the comments of my videos. But guys, the fact that Johnny Cage isn't on there, I don't give a crap. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't bother me in the least. Like, I'm still gonna pick up this cabinet. I think the dragon looks cool. If because he's not on there and it makes you not want to buy the cabinet, I respect your opinion, but it's I'll be getting this one. So I'll be just like before, Mike. We're selling one to get one. You know what I mean?
So yeah. I'm gonna lay down some facts on you now, and you should never have to buy a cabinet to mod it to get it to where you want. It should be perfect, right? But in this case,
all hope they would be. We all hope they would be.
In this case, there's just no way around it. They couldn't use Johnny Cage. They couldn't use Daniel Pacina. At first, I asked the question, why didn't they do the Tron trick with it? Because we know in Tron, they didn't, for whatever reason, they didn't get the actor's likeness for the side of the cabinet. So they just darkened the faces. I was like, why didn't they just throw Johnny Cage on there anywhere and put like a different face on him or get like a different model? That's what I would have done. I would have got a different model to do the exact same pose and put that on the cabinet. That would have been better than this. But here's the great thing. If you don't like the side art, the rest of the cabinet is so perfect. It's only a matter of getting 2 side panels done from Joe Zabo or somebody like that, and your cabinet can be perfect.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll be picking this one up. I'm genuinely excited about this one. Now, hopefully, did they ever confirm the official price on these 3 legacy cabinets? Do we know what it's going to be?
And nothing's official until it's official. But according to the GameFly leaks, we're looking at $4.99 US. I'm expecting $6.99 Canadian.
Hey, if this thing's $4.99 compared to how much have they been charging for other cabinets?
$4.99.
$4.99.
$4.99.99. 1 cent less than your line in the sand. You get off by 1 cent.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. Yeah, Console Fanboy, we only played once for 5 minutes, and I was using an Xbox controller. You were using a fight stick. But guess what, Console Fanboy? Hold on. Look what I got now, baby. Oh, I'm ready for you, Zohar. Hit me up. We'll play on Fightgate.
That is how determined PDubs is. Like,
I'm that determined to beat Zohar that I picked up this fight stick just to fight him.
Not just any fight stick, the Mortal Kombat fight stick.
Yeah, well, I want us to be on equal footing. Like the battlefield must be level before we enter the arena. So
Scarpad's Comic Treks $1.99. Do you think Arcade 1-Up is all done doing pinball? I don't know. We will get to that when we get to the hypothetical part of this conversation, because honestly, that's where we are with Arcade 1-Up and new pinball. It's hypothetical. There is nothing in the ether to say there's new pinball coming other than a hypothetical conversation. So we'll come back to that, brother. And thank you very much for the super chat. I got another one to get down to. Console Fanboy. PDubs, why are you getting it? You're not good.
He was just trash talking because he beat me once, and he beat me once, but I know how he plays now, so there you go.
Thank you very much for the super chat, Console Fanboy. I appreciate it.
If you want to put me full screen, this is that same what was this? Oh geez. This is the same one that I have so much dog hair in my house, it's ridiculous. This is the same one that Zohar has. This is that oh god, what is it called? It's right here. It's the limited edition fight stick, the PDP one. They only made 6,000 of these, so I picked up this bad boy. It's got the real controls. Oh. So man, the spring in here. Oh, so yeah, I had to pick that up off eBay. Got a good deal for it though off eBay. So now I'm ready. Now I'm ready to play on Fightcade because now I got that. There you go.
Okay, so Midway Legacy, are you picking it up? Are you going to sell yet another Mortal Kombat cab and get this one?
Yes, I'm going to sell the Midway Legacy and pick this one up because I'm excited about this one. Now, here's what's funny, Mike. This will be the 4th Mortal Kombat arcade 1-Up cabinet because I had the original Walmart version, I had the Costco version, had the Midway Legacy. That's 3. Now this one, but this is it. Like I am done. They will not get me to upgrade anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like I am done after this. So there you go.
I am getting this one. I am getting this one as well. I didn't plan on getting it, but I had just like a weird situation come up where a fellow Arcade 1-Up collector that I've been talking to by the name of Stephen Rowe, who buys a lot of cabinets off my buddy Mike Dalton, reached out to me and said, Mike Dalton said you had a Midway Legacy. Would you consider selling it? And I wasn't going to. I was like, you know what? My MK2 Midway Legacy is fine. Then he reached out to me and said, yeah, I'll buy it from you. And I said, you know what? Screw it. I do want this cabinet. I do want to play people online. I do want the Mortal Kombat 1 art. Even though Mortal Kombat 2 is my favorite cabinet, I wanted the redesigned cabinet just because I have some issues with the original what were they? The Capcom and the Midway Legacy cabinets. I don't like their design, so I'm excited for this. And I think it's going to be fun playing online with people. I want that challenge. I want to rip somebody's head off and then knock them up in the spikes.
Yeah. You know what's funny though? We're both getting rid of our Midway Legacies to pick up this thing. So
mine's gone. Mine's sold. Already gone.
Yeah, mine hasn't been sold yet. But mine though, yeah, I don't know what. Let's just keep going.
Yeah,
let's just keep going. I don't even know when I'm going to post it for sale. I'm so busy, but we'll figure it out. Go ahead.
Someone reached out to me. I'm at that point. People are calling me saying, "Hey, give me your cab," and I'm like, "I don't know."
Hey, we know you kind of have an abundance of cabs there in the Genie-cade. You got any spares? So that's funny. All right, let's get to the rumored cabs.
The rumor mill. So going to the rumor mill. We got to head on over to our good buddy, and I kind of stole the idea from 19K Fox in the first place. But basically, 19K Fox did a video last week called "What's Next," and I was really, excited by it, and that's why we're doing this tonight. So I'm going through here. We've got. I don't think there's anything new here, but where is it in the video? I think at this point here. So we got Mortal Kombat 30th Collectorcade. None of us are getting Collectorcades, right?
No.
So also, it looks like Arcade 1-Up are done with the classic stools, and they're moving to those new chairs, swivel stools, chairs.
So it's a stool with a back on it.
Yeah, chair.
So it's a chair. All right.
Yeah, it's a chair. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna leave this one off here right now, but let's talk about this one: Arcade 1-Up NFL Blitz Arcade.
All right, is this really happening, Mike? Or are you trolling me again? Because last time we people wanted to cancel us last time, Mike. We talked.
I am telling you, Wade Boggs is going to announce it at Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. NFL Blitz is happening.
All right. Well, according to this list, it says it's happening November. So Blitz, I would be very interested in. So yeah, and I've said that a bunch on our streams and podcast shows. Out of this entire list you have right here, Blitz is the thing that I personally am most excited about. I know a lot of people out there would be a little maybe more excited for Marvel vs. Capcom 2 because it's got such a huge following, but my nostalgia for that game doesn't equal my nostalgia for Blitz. So I'm excited about Blitz. So if it happens, I'll probably pick it up.
If it happens, this stuff is as good as done here now.
Are you sure?
Everything else on this list
was
accurate.
I don't need to see a whole bunch of YouTube videos tomorrow where they try to cancel P-Dubs and Michael B like they did last time because we made a bad prediction.
I don't care. NFL Blitz.
Are you guys gonna get NFL Blitz? If it's good, now keep in mind they got to reveal the thing, but let's just say they make it and it's good. $5.99. Are you guys picking it up? Let us know in the live chat. If they make it and it's good, I'll be picking it up myself. Go ahead.
Yeah, so this one's a little bit tougher because a lot of the stuff is still in the ether. We haven't really seen it. And, until you see it and see how it performs, it's hard to really make a conversation. For me, I'm going to be honest with you. I was kind of out of the arcades when Blitz came out. I don't have the nostalgia for it. So I'm not getting Blitz. I won't be pulled into it. I know people, this is where, what's his name? Garage Gamer on Instagram comes out of nowhere and says, yeah, look forward to your review, making fun of me. But no, I don't think I'm going to get an NFL Blitz. I'll leave that one alone.
You have a reputation.
I know
that you will buy everything.
Well earned.
And that's because you have purchased everything.
I haven't purchased everything. I made a video of the 4 cabinets I never purchased.
And what's funny is I may have purchased more Arcade 1-Up cabinets than you have.
I know.
Yet you have that reputation.
I know.
Isn't that funny? Guys, I probably have purchased maybe 6 or 7 more Arcade 1-Up cabinets than Michael B has.
Again.
But unlike you, I am constantly shuffling stuff. You know what I mean? I'm always moving stuff around. So that's kind of funny. But then again, you are definitely a bigger fan of Arcade 1-Up than I am. Because I'm more critical about what they do and stuff. Like I'm a very hypercritical person. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a fanboy of Arcade 1-Up.
Yeah, you are.
It's just I really like them. I don't make any apologies for that. But it doesn't it doesn't affect my judgment of the quality of their product and ability to provide constructive criticism.
Yeah. Console Fanboy just put in the chat, CT Jason or Sosa has the most. Yeah, I think so, especially because, guys, I've downsized my Arcade 1-Up collection. Like, at one point, guys, I had no room in the house. I had 12 cabinets in the garage. Now I only have 3 cabinets in the garage, Mike. So I've been downsizing and just selling those cabinets to pay for new ones.
Yeah.
You know, people are like, how do you guys get all these cabinets? Although we do well, have good careers, guys, sometimes we still got to hustle. We got to sell some cabinets to buy new cabinets. You know what I mean?
See, and Ray Rockwood knows the real reason why I'm not getting NFL Blitz. I only play Canadian football games.
Doug Flutie. Doug Flutie. I haven't heard that name in years. That was
what do you eat in the morning? Every morning I wake up and have a bowl of Flutie's Flakes.
All right. So Blitz, you want to talk Time Crisis? Who's getting time? All right. Now, guys, let's pretend in our minds, Arcade 1-Up announces, fully reveals Time Crisis, and it looks amazing.
Yeah.
Are you going to buy it for $800? Let's say it has multiple games on it, not just one. I'm worried this thing is only going to have one game, Mike. Oh, wait, hold on. We're not supposed to be negative.
No,
let's just say it looks good enough to buy. Are you going to buy it?
Here's what I think I know about it right now. I know that Time Crisis 1 is definitely going to be on it. Time Crisis 2 and 3 are a little bit tougher because that's getting way outside Arcade 1-Up's chipset. That's getting into like a PlayStation 2 type level. So I think maybe if they do a Time Crisis, it's going to be Time Crisis 1 only. But then there's other Namco, Bandai shooting games. So just do the math. Go through there. I think they've got games like Point Blank, Steel Gunner 1 and 2. So some of that stuff might show up. My advice to you is go look at the Bandai Namco shooting games. Go look at what can be run all the way up to PlayStation 1. And that's your idea of what will be on that cabinet. One thing I will say, BCB 147 says only if it's 2 players. I don't know if it's going to be 2 players. I don't, because I think Time Crisis 1 was only solitary player unless you had a dual screen.
I think so.
I don't know.
I thought Time Crisis 2 was 2 players.
Yeah, I'm getting confused with Time Crisis 2. Thank you very much for the super chat. Maybe it will be 2 player. I'm not sure what they're going to do with it yet. But one thing I brought up in my video there the other day about it, that price point of $799.99. I mean, that's a lot of cash. So unless this is like a Pro or XL, definitely not Pro, an XL, or at least has like a bigger screen, that's a big jump from $599 to $799 price point wise.
Yeah, and keep in mind that Terminator cabinet was $700, wasn't it? So
$699.
$700, and this is $100 more.
So
based upon my review of the T2, oh man, how do we say this without, because we don't want to be too negative, do we, Mike? We're trying to be positive tonight. Based upon my experience with T2, I don't have a lot of confidence in Arcade 1-Up gun games. So Time Crisis for me at $800, I'm not going to get this one. I will get Blitz though. Keep that in mind, guys. Remember the good times. I think it's going to be, even if it's 2 or 3 games on there, I don't know, man. You know, I don't know. I can't do it. It's a lot of money now. And keep in mind too, Terminator. I didn't even want that cabinet to begin with. That was a marital dispute. You remember that, Mike?
You were so mad.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I felt bad. I felt bad. Oh man, I did a dick move. No, I don't want to say it because then people are going to make fun of me.
Yeah, don't talk about that. This positive. Speaking of Terminator 2, and if we're going to say something positive about it, me and my daughter played it earlier today. We went down in the arcade.
That's
and
true.
we played through Simpsons. We played through Simpsons up until the bar stage, and then she got tired of that. And then she wanted to play Terminator 2. We played like the first level of Terminator 2 together, and that was a really cool experience. So as much as it's easy to shit on it because it's only one game, yada, 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 I have a lot of fun when I play it, and I love playing it with my daughter. So positive. I'm still very happy with my Terminator 2 cab.
All right. Alfred wrote in here, get ready for that plastic pedal because this thing's going to require pedal. And what if it's like a similar pedal to the Ridge Racer and the Outrun racing cabinets? You know, that flimsy plastic? I think people would just roast them. They would get roasted. I don't know, man. I don't have a lot of faith with Arcade 1-Up gun games. But whew, there you go. All right. There we go. But I'm going to get Blitz. Let's remember that.
We will see. We will see. We will see. We will see. I think a lot of people are saying another thing. People are saying we'll wait for a price drop, and I wanted to talk about this, even though it's a positive thing, and I'll explain why. Someone wrote a comment on one of my videos the other day, really caught me off guard because it was like, what was it? Something about the Simpsons cab being $199. And he said, every time I see a Simpsons cab at $199, I think about how you, Michael B, deceived everybody saying prices wouldn't go down and these are the prices going forward. And like I was kind of caught off guard, and I was like, you realize this is an anomaly sale, right? $199 for Simpsons isn't the going price for Arcade 1-Ups. It's just it didn't sell as well as they wanted to. They had overstock, so they put it on clearance. What I meant was not that cabinets would never go on sale. What I meant was look at these prices here in front of you. The days of the $399 Arcade 1-Up cabinet were over. When they come out new, they're going to be more expensive. And again, looking at these prices, yes, I was right. So at the same time, if I convince somebody to buy an Arcade 1-Up Simpsons at full price and now they could get it for $199, I apologize, but that's the name of the game. You buy it early, you pay full price.
I agree. So Marvel, we're working from the bottom up, right? So Marvel versus Capcom 2. So here's the thing. Like, if I had to line up Marvel versus Capcom, the Street Fighter, like the Big Blue cabinet, and Mortal Kombat, the 30th anniversary one, the one that's going to get played the most for me is Mortal Kombat. Like, I just have way more nostalgia and love for the Mortal Kombat games than these Capcom fighters. So honestly, I want to get Marvel versus Capcom 2, but I know that cabinet is going to be a huge seller for Arcade 1-Up. It's going to be massive, the amount of people that buy this cabinet. So, me personally, I'll pass on it to make sure that help the next person get one. How does that sound, Michael B?
That sounds good.
I probably wouldn't play it. Like, I'll be honest with you guys. I wouldn't play it. I'd be playing Mortal Kombat all the time. Go ahead.
Scarpehead's Comic Treks, $199. Thank you very much for the super chat, brother. What I want to know, any more giant joystick games? You will never see Arcade 1-Up release another giant joystick. It was a massive failure, and they're still trying to clearance them out at several retailers. So, unfortunately, if you were a fan of the giant joysticks, what you saw was what you got. So, thank you very much for the super chat, brother.
Yeah. How many of you guys are going to get, let's just say it really is Marvel vs. Capcom 2, because I know a lot of people, we've had speculation where we're like, it's just like a 1.1 cabinet, like an improved Marvel vs. Capcom 1 cabinet. But if it really is Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and let's just say it's good, it's got, 12 games on it, whatever, legacy cabinet type, online fighting. Are you guys going to be picking that up? Let us know in the live chat. I'm assuming we're going to see a lot of yeses, Mike, because I'm assuming this is going to be huge for Arcade 1-Up, like huge.
If it's
national news.
If it's really Marvel versus Capcom 2, it's a very, very, very big deal. And a lot of people in the competitive fighting community are going to be very, very interested in it if it's real. But Bill's Retro Gaming Show kind of has me pegged on my interest in the cabinet. I just want that MVC to be Marvel Legacy with all the Marvel games. You won't get all the Marvel games. You're not going to get the Konami X-Men beat 'em up. You're not going to get the Data East games. You might get the Data East games. There's always that possibility because Data East, or what's the company that has Data East now?
Who owns them? Oh, I couldn't tell you off the top of my head.
No. It's that company that we made the joke they would license to anybody. But anyways, it's possible the Data East games could be on there, but what I'm hoping for is it's still Marvel versus Capcom 2, but then it also becomes a giant Marvel Capcom legacy type cabinet that has all the Marvel versus Capcom and X-Men versus Street Fighter, X-Men versus Marvel Superheroes, The Punisher, all that shit on one cabinet, all on Wi-Fi, make it a big blue. I'm going to hunk my money down. So if Marvel versus Capcom 2 becomes this, like Bill's saying, like I just described, it's a day one buy for me.
Yeah. But I would still, me personally, play the Mortal Kombat cabinet more. And that's just me. But I know this cabinet, it would be a huge win for Arcade 1-Up. A huge win. You'd have to congratulate them for getting that game out of purgatory, releasing it in an arcade form factor. provided the quality of the cabinet's good and the monitor. You know what I mean? Like, provided it's good, like you have to admit that that would be a massive win for Arcade One Up, and they would get national press for that. You know what I mean? Like that would be all over the place. Yeah. So,
$2 super chat from C Marvel 360. Marvel versus Capcom 2. Mind blown. So yeah, I agree with that, and thank you very much. Also, Goofyfoot, I'm out. I can't handle all this positivity.
Oh, come on, man! Don't worry. Hey, we've actually been critical throughout these discussions.
Pretty critical,
but you know.
Console fanboy 4.99 super chat. Thank you very much, brother. Not to be negative, but we should all get the MK30 in July, because once MVC2 comes out in October, those MK lobbies will be pretty empty. So
you know what? That's funny. You know what's gonna? I'm gonna turn on the Mortal Kombat Legacy cabinet online. I'm gonna go to the lobby, and all I'm gonna see is a tumbleweed go by and a little pop-up message that says, "You should have bought MVC2." That's what's gonna happen. That's where everybody is.
Well, unfortunately, like that seems to be one of the complaints about like the Arcade One Up online community, is people are like, where's everybody to? Sometimes it can be said about the iiRcade, their online games now, and ArcadeNet as well, but I mean, it all depends on times. Like I popped on my Killer Instinct for literally a second today, and it was just like game request coming in. And same with my X-Men cabinet. I turned on my X-Men cabinet, and all of a sudden, beep, beep, beep. And I was like, what is going on? Like, it wasn't like a prime time. I think it was like probably 5:30 Eastern, but like the cabinets were bumping. Sometimes it just happens, right?
So those were the big three on here, Mike, but were there any others? Like the rest is all just kind of standard stuff. Like
Street Fighter 2 Champion Turbo Legacy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I have Big Blue. Like, do I really need this? You know what I mean?
Well,
like I'm assuming if I didn't have Big Blue, maybe, but I like the Big Blue cabinet. I mean, it's enough. I mean, I don't know. It's going to be the same games. It's going to be the same games in a different factor, right?
Well, it might be the same games. They might mix it up a little bit and add 2 more. It'll be 14 games. We know that. I'm surprised, because I was under the impression they were going to come out with an XL or Pro Street Fighter cabinet at some point this year, and I can't see them doing both. So if they are going to come out with just a regular ass legacy cab, and I know the delay is to help them sell the legacy cabs from last year and the Big Blues from last year. I mean, Jesus Christ, they released 2 Street Fighter 2s last year. Give the community some time to buy those before you release another one. I can't see them releasing 2 again this year with Turbo Legacy and then another Pro or XL. So
Harold Miller wrote, "Where's track and field?" Now, I haven't made any videos about track and field, but I know I've seen a lot of videos from other guys in this community talking about track and field. Is track and field going to happen, Mike? Because I don't know. I don't have the ins and outs of A1 Up like some other people out there.
From what I understand, I'm really disappointed because this list is pretty much the entirety outside of Double Dragon, which we'll talk about in a minute, and that ridiculous Sonic the Hedgehog cabinet, which just it hurts my soul. And then also there's one other cabinet that hasn't been revealed yet that Justin's been alluding to. That's all we know so far. Track and field, it looks like they're going to pass.
Did he say? Did he say what it was?
No, he's just alluded to. There's a cab coming out. No one really knows what it is.
Does he know what it is?
No.
Can you call him? Put him on.
He doesn't know.
Let's beat it out of him. I bet he knows. Let's beat it out of him.
He doesn't know what it is.
He knows. Let's beat it out of him.
Anyways, I'm really disappointed for this. Track and field is such an iconic game. I think they would have done really well. And honestly, man, I'm looking at most of this stuff and I'm like, yeah, good thing for 90s arcade fans. You guys are going to have an awesome year. But what about people that want the 80s games? We got Dragon's Lair. We got some re-release legacy cabinets. It's not a lot of 80s love. So I was hoping to see track and field. There's no word on if it's actually coming this year now. It was supposed to be last year, and it just got delayed and delayed and delayed. So I don't know what's going on.
Charlie Chuck says, if Justin is correct, there is an unannounced cab. I hope it's a Williams.
It's not a Williams.
That would be cool.
I wish it was. It's not a Williams.
Seriously, let's call him right now. Let's put him on.
No,
let's put him on. Let's put him on. We'll drag it out of him. With the power of the viewers behind us.
We talked to Justin. He actually legitimately doesn't know.
I don't believe him though. I think he knows. He knows something. Knows something.
I did hear a rumor on what it possibly is.
Oh, here it comes, guys. Right here it comes. I don't know, but I heard a rumor.
I did.
Here it comes, I did hear guys. A rumor. All right, and what's the rumor?
If it is what I heard, it's stupid. I was under the impression that this game, it's so stupid. I was under the impression that this game was going to blow everybody's socks off. You would be sitting on your porch and then your socks would just be gone. That's what I was told. And then when someone told me what they heard it was, I was like, well, that's never going to sell. That's dumb. And all I will tell you is my source for this just loves this game ridiculously and inserts it in all the worst situations and keeps saying, man, what if they made XCab? And you're like, what's dumb?
All right. I still think you guys know, and you guys just won't tell me.
I don't know. I legit don't know.
Because if you told, what's funny is these guys, if they find out something, they won't tell me because they'll know I make a video on it.
Oh yeah, PDubs definitely will.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah, so PDubs, if PDubs was alive in the 70s, he would have gave up Deep Throat. There would be no Deep Throat. It would just be the person that it was, because PDubs would have came right out and said, oh yeah, it was this guy, 100%.
Okay, you did a thumbnail with me as a Scarlet Witch. Can you not also call me Deep Throat? All right, can we just move on to the next cabinet, or are we done? I think we're done.
So anyways, talking about how PDubs affords all the cabs, Deep Throat.
$20 is $20. That's what Steven Nostalgia always says.
Alien versus Predator. No, it's not Alien. It's going to be hard pressed for us to get Alien.
Can you imagine though? All right, so 19K Fox and I both love the Aliens versus Predator arcade games. Can you imagine how cool that cabinet would look though? It would be so dope if they got that. It would be so cool.
Imagine a Journey cab.
Oh,
it's never going to happen. It's a one game cab.
All right.
All right, guys. I will. Okay, I'll tell you. The cabinet that's being released.
Yes.
Is Wacko.
Wacko.
Mm-hmm.
Wacko. Like Whack-A-Mole?
No, Wacko. You don't know what Wacko the arcade game is?
Wacko. It's not ringing any bells.
All right, you keep talking. I'll bring it up. I didn't realize we were still on screen. You talk to people. I'll bring it up.
There was a rich man from Nottingham who tried to cross the river. What a dope. He tripped on a rope. Now look at him shiver. Name that movie. Let's see if anyone can get it.
Man, how have you never seen
What
Wacko?
Is Wacko? The Crooked Cab? People are saying?
Yeah.
Okay, now you're trolling. They're doing
Wacko.
They would not do Wacko. Oh, wait, we forgot. Okay, Mike, we are running a little bit long here, my friend. And you know how antsy I get when a show goes longer than 1 hour and 18 minutes. And I've given you an additional 20. We're at an hour 40. What's so funny, guys, is like an hour, I start getting antsy. An hour and 18, I'm ready to just murder somebody because we're still on air. But we got to talk real quick about the Sonic thing.
Oh, yeah. So, okay, really quick. We'll pound through these now because this is all rumors. Before we do, I do have to apologize. I did forget something. I'm so dumb, guys. I'm very, 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 very sorry about this. But there was a cabinet.
Yeah. Did you guys hear about the rumored Sonic arcade cabinet? And would you guys buy that? I think some of you guys made videos on it. I didn't because I had no knowledge of this stuff.
I didn't make a video on it. I don't think I did. I make a lot of videos. But here's one I actually forgot, and I shouldn't have forgot. It is an official cabinet that's announced. The Killer Instinct Pro Series.
Yeah, I've been... The Golden TXL is a fairly large cabinet. And I remember I was telling people, it's not going to take up that much more room. Because it's the same width.
It's really big. It's really big.
I don't know if I could I don't want to. I don't know if I would get Pro. I think I might go back now and get the smaller Killer Instinct cabinet because
it's a good cabinet. I like it. I really
and
like
that's only because I need to find a way to fit it in there.
Yeah.
But am I going to get this anytime soon? No, like I'm not in a rush at all on Killer Instinct.
It's funny. I don't know if I can talk about this behind the scenes Illuminati type business, but we had a Facebook Messenger talk last night, and 90K Fox said the same thing. Like after looking at the Pro Cab, or maybe this was on his show when it was live. I can't remember. Last night's kind of a blur to me. Having this new baby is really not let me sleep much. But 19K Fox said, yeah, after what's going on with the screen and the issues with some of these cabinets, he's thinking about going back and getting 3/4 scale Killer Instinct as well.
Yeah. Good point. Good point. I like what Donuts wrote where he goes, hey, how about selling us something we want, like Robotron, Stargate, Gorf, I'm assuming, instead of Sonic. I think that would be fantastic. I know Michael B would be super excited about it.
Yeah.
One of us, who was it? Was it Justin? Just got a Robotron cabinet and was kind of sending you pictures of it, rubbing it in your face a bit.
He does not have a Robotron cabinet. Justin passing off his Dirty Williams Multicades as dedicated Robotrons.
His slutty little Williams Multicade.
They'll sleep with whatever they can find every port they go into.
Every sailor's had a turn on that cabinet. All right, yeah. Sonic, come on, let's talk Sonic real quick.
You want me to get off this?
I'm about to blow your mind. I'm about to blow your mind.
If you tell me what I think you're going to tell me, I'm going to lose so much respect.
I'm gonna
Goofyfoot's got a $1.99 super chat there. CP Dubs, too much positivity pisses you off.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you. And don't forget that if it wasn't for me and Operation Free Goofyfoot, who got you unblocked from Michael B's channel? This guy, because you were unjustly punished.
I don't know what he's talking about. He was never blocked.
All right. So what did these guys say was going to be on this Sonic cabinet? This has got to be the last one.
They didn't say. They didn't say anything. They said Big Reese did his video where he's walking in the Australian outback, like holding the phone like this and saying, I went into a store the other day and they give me information on the screen, and it said there's a Sonic the Hedgehog arcade 1-up 3/4 scale cabinet coming out. That's what the price point indicated. That's all the information we have.
And we don't even know what games for sure would be on it.
Well,
we sound like those guys from Impractical Jokers.
Well, all right.
Wait, you mean all I have to do is go inside this room?
Now, Amber. Okay, Amber, here's what you do next. Take a bump on the stand. She did it. Oh my God.
Did she really?
Actually, I heard something funny about that. You know how we were all making fun of that? Like she did a bump on the stand. Someone actually said she took something that was actually something you can snort up your nose that actually increases your probability of crying is what she was doing. I forget what it was, but it was to help with the acting.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, yeah, let's not get into that.
Stepped on a bee.
All right. So my apologies, guys. I thought there was more information out there about this cabinet, but since I'm over in the Multicade multiverse, these guys are over in their arcade 1-up universe. I don't keep up with this stuff. So we don't know what's going to be on this cabinet.
Well, yes, we know that.
You do know? How'd you find out?
Sort of. So there's going to be 16-bit games. There's going to be console games. There's going to be console games.
Console?
There's
not going to have like Sonic. Is it going to have the Sonic fighting game? You know, is it Sonic Fighters? Which one is it?
Sonic the Fighters. I don't know about that one, but there is that Sonic Super Sonic game, the Sega Super Sonic, the Japanese arcade game. So I think that's going to be the main branding on the cabinet. It's going to be that, because Arcade 1-Up doesn't make console games. So I mean, if they're going to do it, it's going to be an arcade game. But I mean, that's a weird one, right? With no ties to North America, so it's going to be a bit of a hard sell.
Wait. Is this going to be like a Arcade 1-Up Junior Cade, like a baby Cade?
3/4.
Whatever. It sounds like something that should be a baby Cade, doesn't it? Like a junior baby.
It sounds like something that shouldn't be made. Tell you the truth.
Whatever happened to that Batman baby Cade?
A lot of the stuff from the leaks last year never came to fruition. It's like track and field. Track and
You
field
know
was
what?
out there.
I really wanted them to come out and redo those Colecos, the ones that I saw at that
Yeah.
CES convention. I saw those in person.
I
Those
don't think
were cool.
I think they gave up on all that stuff. And
That would have
what's
been cool though.
what's the company? My Tiny Arcade or somebody like that ended up making them. They took over the project from Arcade One Up.
Yeah, the little TVs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that, but I'm talking the Coleco cabinets, the ones that are like this big, this wide.
Yeah, I think the problem with that stuff is the price
I would
point.
have bought some of those. I would have bought some of those.
Yeah, no doubt. But I think the problem with that, like I'm saying, is the price point.
Mhm.
Because when Arcade One Up came up with the concept for all these, because I know for a fact, like the BabyCades, like I probably shouldn't say this, but I had a conversation with somebody from Arcade One Up, and they said, "Hey, when we came up with the concept for the BabyCade, we thought we could sell it at X amount of dollars. Then all the shit with the pandemic happened, and now we have to sell it at Y amount of dollars, and we don't think it's going to be a success at Y amount of dollars. At X amount of dollars, we might have had something." And I think it's the same thing with those Coleco tabletops. Like, how much would you really pay for one of those Coleco tabletops?
I mean, if they had it for like 40, like $39.99.
40, $50. What if I
Yeah.
told you that they're probably going to have to sell them at like 100, 150? Are you interested?
Nah, man, fuck, I'm out.
Exactly.
Sorry.
So, no, it's okay. But
oh man,
that's why they're not going to do it, right? So yeah, the Sonic game. I don't know. There's people out there that might be super Sega fans, but I mean that's going to be a hard one for them to put out.
hey, everything out there has a following, and that's okay, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you know, some people are big fans of Pauly Shore movies. Like,
it doesn't make it right.
That doesn't make it right.
Yeah. Anyways, so Sonic is gone. Double Dragon,
buddy.
People are asking about Double Dragon because that was the other title that Big Reese leaked, and there's rumors out there now that it's been canceled. It's not happening.
It's Reese's fault. Reese exposed it too soon. Reese caused Arcade One Up, and who owns the IP now again? We know this. We actually said it on our
Arc System Works.
Arc System Works and Arcade One Up got together and they said, "F this Reese Australian MFer, cancel." So Reese, everyone go to Big Reese's channel, subscribe to the channel, make sure you subscribe, and yell at him for causing the cancellation of Double Dragon.
I'm actually really disappointed. I would have been very interested in a Double Dragon cabinet. It's not. Of course it's not. But I think the rumor going around right now, like Papa Brad always says, like too much heat coming from iiRcade. And as much as you might say, oh, they're not competing products, that's what I am hearing, that they just were worried where iiRcade was selling their cabinets. It was just enough of a potential competition that they were concerned about hitting the break-even point with the cabinet, decided to hold it off. It's like when they held they've had Dragon's Lair ready for years. They were going to do Dragon's Lair, but because iiRcade did it, it was a potential risk factor. They decided to delay it, right?
Yeah. Hold on a minute.
My Canadian friend, Atul, Biodome is the best movie ever. Atul, you need to get out and spend more time in public with people. Biodome is not the best movie ever.
Okay, who is all right? Here's a movie trivia quiz. Atul. Oh, I hope I said his name right. In Biodome, what pop singer has a major role in that movie? She's one of the girls inside the Biodome with the fellas, guys. Throw that in the live chat. Let's see if how many people know their films. What were we talking about? Double Dragon.
Yeah.
Double Dragon. So I find it interesting that iiRcade does Dragon's Lair Double Dragon, then Arcade One Up does it. iiRcade and has been pursuing Shredder's Revenge like crazy. Then here comes John D making posts on the internet saying, "Hey guys, I think I'm gonna go meet with the Shredder's Revenge guys." You know what I mean? It just seems like a little competition there. There you go, Kylie Minogue. Good job.
Do like Kylie Minogue always did.
Yeah.
I will.
The best part about that movie is when Kylie Minogue and the other hot chick open the, they have the boys sleeping in a closet. They open the closet and they get in there like, "Hey, you guys want to hook up?" And it's a pretty nice scene there. If you guys have seen the scene, you know what I'm talking about.
Do you want to send me a link? No, so anyways, going back to the Double Dragon comment and your point, I don't 100% think that it's that sinister. I don't think that John D is just like, I'm going to get Double Dragon.
Wait, Sinistar is confirmed?
No, but you understand what I mean.
They're
making popular arcade games. Double Dragon is a pretty popular arcade game. And if you know anything about Arcade 1-Up, they also have to sell it to retailers. So they're thinking about games that have mainstream appeal. And Double Dragon is a popular arcade game that also goes outside arcade games and has a following. I mean, they made a goddamn movie about it starring the best looking woman in the world. So of course it's got mainstream appeal.
Yeah, I mean, just like any other company, they build prototypes and try and make these products come to reality. Like, do you remember, excuse me, was it 2 years ago? There were some behind the scenes pictures inside their office and they had a row of like partycades. And I think there was MichaelB partycade there, but it never came to reality. And all I want from Arcade 1-Up is one thing, a Q*bert arcade cabinet, or just give me a Q*bert. I'll take a Q*bert partycade or a little countercade. I'll take a little Q*bert. That's all I want. That's it. After that, I'll retire. We'll shut down the channel.
I can confirm. I did talk to John D about Q*bert. And I said, man, why haven't you made Q*bert yet? Because he said PDubs.
Really?
Yeah, 100%. He was like PDubs. That's why Q*bert's not being made.
That doesn't surprise me.
It's just they're concerned. I mean, they're concerned about 2 games. Does Q*bert have enough mainstream appeal? It does. If they made a Q*bert cab, I'd buy Q*bert. Everybody would buy Q*bert. It's a big deal. Yeah. Make Q*bert.
Yeah. So right now, what you see right here, this is the this is an IPS monitor. This is a TN monitor.
Yeah, so my internet went to shit, apparently.
Your internet is saying it's time to pull the plug. Michael B's underwater right now. It's been 2 hours, bro. Like, seriously.
I got another 3 in me, man.
Oh, no, we can't do it.
No. Okay. Last one.
All right. Hold on for one more, guys, before we let you go. One
more thing.
Don't quit on us. Don't quit.
One more thing. The other rumored cab that was possibly supposed to come out was Smash TV. And I was so angry about it because I was like, I don't want to buy a Smash TV cab to play Robotron because it's not a Robotron cab. So if the last cab is a Williams cab and it is Smash TV, or if it is Robotron, what do you think of that? Is that something you'd be interested in getting?
I would be interested in that a lot.
Yeah.
And to me, I would be happy that it's Smash TV. And
you'd be happy that it's Smash instead of Robotron?
Mm-hmm. I would love that artwork on there and on the market.
A lot of people really love the artwork. And I know I should be happy that Robotron in a twin stick cab will be coming to an Arcade 1-Up cabinet. And you know what? Here's the thing. If they make a Smash TV cab, that's as good as I'm going to get. And Smash TV is a pretty cool looking cab, so I can live with it. I would prefer Robotron, but I'm going to walk it back a bit and say Smash TV, really friggin' cool. I will say this year, according to this roadmap we've looked at.
By the way, isn't that just awesome? You know what I mean? Isn't that awesome? The one that does the animated marquees.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So no, that's fine. Just cut me off. Whatever you want to do.
I get distracted. Yes, Mike. We all know. The whole internet knows. You know what I mean? Everyone knows you want Robotron, and you know why Robotron hasn't happened? Because John D said,
Michael B.
Just like Q*bert.
Yeah. The one thing I do want to say is that list they put out this year is way too heavy 90s. We need some 80s love for our people. So hopefully this unannounced cab is something with an 80s background, 80s arcade history. That's what I'd like to see. Oh, there is one other thing. One more thing. Again, no driver so far announced. Are we getting a driver next year?
Yeah.
You don't think they'll do another driver?
I don't know. Well, maybe. It'd be cool if they did what is that? Off-road? The one that a lot of people have been making mods out of with the 3 steering wheels?
Yeah. So you think off-road, you don't think it'd be more along the lines of Daytona, pole position?
No, I don't
Rush, anything like that? No?
No, I don't think they're going to do Daytona anytime soon. But I think, do you remember when oh God, what was it we said? You guys wanted Daytona, but we did a show. Mike, you and I have done a lot of shows. We're like, This is what we did a show called "This is What You Want versus What You're Gonna Get," and we said everyone wants Daytona, but what you're gonna get is pole position. You know what I mean? So
a lot of people would really like pole position too. Pole position is a pretty popular game.
Yeah, I know, but like we were talking about, like shooting cabinets and stuff too. Like you guys really want
House of the Dead.
House of the Dead, but and back then I said you guys wanted House of the Dead, but what you're gonna get is Time Crisis.
That's right.
And I had no insider info, and here we are. Time Crisis is coming soon.
Yeah, and again, one more thing.
Yeah,
pinball.
We'll take pole position.
Yeah. Do you think pinball's done? Arcade One-Up Pinball, or do you think there's more coming?
I don't know. They keep shipping more pinball cabinets over here. I mean, I keep an eye on the port trackers.
No. I don't mean is current pinball done. Are we getting another wave of pinball cabinets, or is it a one and done from Arcade One-Up to 3 cabinets?
They're just going to do the 3 cabinets and those games and just keep building and shipping and selling. I have no insider knowledge. I wouldn't be surprised if they were done.
Yeah.
Let's just put it that way. Like if they never release another pinball machine, I wouldn't be surprised.
I think the price hike killed pinball for Arcade One-Up. I think at $5.99, they could have sold some of their pinballs. It's a good machine. Screen sucks, and the 720p sucks, but everything else is really cool about the cabinet, except for the fact there's no nudge buttons, and that's weird too. But $5.99, they could have sold them. $8.49. What is the price? $7.99 American, right? It's $8.49 here in Canada.
Yeah,
no, they're up to $9.99 here in Canada.
Yeah, it's $8.49 here.
$8.49.
It got all the way up to $8.49 here for them. And I'm sorry, but at $8.49, they just sat there until they kept doing sales, like $150 off. Here's some money off.
So I think where they don't have the ability to sell them at $8.49, that's delaying any potential future cabs happening, just because they know it's not profitable. They can't do it. Won't sell for what they can make it for.
You know, if they can do it at the 500 that it was supposed to be, I mean,
they'll do well.
You know, but $8.49, they just sat there, man, despite the licenses. You know, so yeah, too much money.
All right. P-Dubs, I kept you on here for 2 hours. I know you're
2 hours
chomping at the bits. At the bits.
Yeah. Thank you, though. Thanks for having me on. This was a fun conversation. So,
it was.
Because, you know, when we do our podcast shows like Super Game Room Dudes and other shows, like our job is to provide hypercritical feedback to make these companies better, as well as to educate consumers about products and also just to have fun, right?
Yeah.
But we've done much of that lately. When I was talking with Mike, I was like, let's just talk about the products we know we want to buy. I wanted to have a positive conversation tonight. And I think we did, man. I really enjoyed it. So thanks so much. And thank you, viewers. You guys kept me entertained. I was reading the live chat throughout the whole show. You guys are amazing. Big shout out to Michael B. Make sure you give him a thumbs up on the way out.
And if you really like P-Dubs videos, come to Michael B, where you'll get the great value version, usually right after P-Dubs finishes his.
Yeah. Multicade Mondays will be back next week, 100% guaranteed.
Good stuff. I like that we do this stuff on Monday together. I used to do, it's probably your fault. I'm probably copying off you again, because I used to always jump on the I Hate Mondays show. So maybe that's where I got the idea of doing this show on Mondays.
Yeah. I Hate Mondays was fun, but I like Multicade Mondays more. So
yeah. Guys, I got to tell you, nothing can last forever. Things have to change sometimes. We have to rebrand. You guys know where I'm going with this. Unfortunately, the time has come to end Chill and Chat with Michael B. From now on, I'll be doing Singlecade Mondays.
And it's just going to be the One Up Weekly, or like an Arcade One Up show.
Yeah, but that's what P-Dubs said I do anyways. You're like, you just do One Up cabinets. It's all the time. It's just One Up cabinets.
No, I make fun of you guys. And guys, don't be mean to Mike or the other fellows that do these shows, but I make fun of these guys because they do the same topic a lot. They release this cabinet comment, making predictions?
Oh yeah, well
it's the same time. But here's what's crazy is the audience loves talking about that stuff because they keep coming back. The views are there. They love hanging out. You guys apparently love talking about this stuff. Like, wouldn't it be cool if they did Robotron? You know what I mean? Like, It's cool.
I like speculating
But
what they can
but
do.
trust me, guys, behind the scenes, I tease them all the time. I'm like, so you're doing the same show you did last week? Like, I give them shit all the time just to, just because that's what guys do. We bust each other's balls. So, yeah.
The best thing to do is you tell P-Dubs you're going to say something really crude about him in your video, and then you lead him on all day about it, and then apologize, ask him if you need to redo your video, and then when he finally gets really angry, you just send him a picture of you smiling like this.
Like you did. Yeah. All right, fine. We'll give him more. We'll tell him that story too, Mike, because that embarrasses me because I just embarrassed you. Freaking Michael B told me, he goes, hey man, I got this video coming out, and just so you know, I gave you a shout out in the video. And I'm like, oh cool, what'd you say? He goes, well, in the video I said this about you. And I was like, you can't say that about me. That's so rude. That's rude. I was like, you can't say that about me. Don't. I was like, you need to take that out of your effing video, man. The friendship's on the line. You know what I mean? And Michael B was trolling me all day. He goes, no, man, I'm not taking it out. I'm not taking it out. I'm not taking it out. And then, like, later on in the day, I'm like all stressed about it. I'm like, Mike, is that really in the video? And then he just sent me that picture with that grin. And I was like, you jerk. There you go.
Hobby hands. So what you're saying, MB Show is the McDowell's version of P-Dub Show. That is correct.
Yeah, I have the Big Mac. I have the Big Mac. He's got the Big Mick.
The Big Mick. I forgot about that. It's been so long since I watched Coming to America.
All right, come on. We got to get out of here, man. It's over 2 hours. We're wasting
all right.
time.
Everybody, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us tonight. You guys, I love doing this. I love having my buddy here tonight. This was fun. A lot of fun. Yeah. And thank you for being here and sharing it with us. So everybody, have a wonderful night. This is Michael B. That's P-Dubs. And we'll talk to you next time.
Are you supposed to play some music?
Good show, man. By the way, Nostalgia is the worst. Like, he's literally the worst.
Why? What do you do?
Oh, no, hold on. Let me end the show first.
Oh,